Hey friends, long time no see. Hope you're all doing well as can be expected given the state of the world right now. It's been a while since I last posted on here, I know, and it wasn't meant to take this long, but I've been busy with various things. Plus, with the heat waves we've had, I didn't want to sit here sweating while I was trying to talk to you. That wouldn't look very good, would it? So just thought I'd wait until there was a more appropriate moment before I brought you up to speed on things. And if you've been reading my blog, then you already know what's been going on. But basically, in the last video I did on here, I said there was something going on, but I couldn't tell you about it because I was still trying to process the information myself at the time, and there were people I needed to tell individually still at that point as well. So it was best just to keep a bit quiet about it. But I have written about it on my blog since, and basically, for those of you who still don't know, I've been made redundant. Basically, I've lost my job. The local authority that I work for have decided to close their entire print department and outsource it to an external supplier, which we kind of knew was coming. It's been on the cards for a while, so we knew it would happen eventually. It's still very sad though. And it's a big risk as well, outsourcing, if you know about these things, is a huge gamble to take in order to try and cut costs. It can work if you plan it out correctly and everything, but it can also prove to be much more expensive than you thought it was if you're not careful. So I hope it works out for them, obviously. But it is a big risk for them to take. And we have told them that. And also, the fact that getting rid of expertise like mine and other people's that will be hard to replace, basically. And a lot of departments are devastated that I'm going, certainly. I've had lots of lovely messages from people who are really sad that I'm going. I've even had a card and a box of chocolates in the post already. And yeah, it's just going to be a real shame to leave all those colleagues behind. I've formed a lot of close working relationships and friendships with a lot of people there. And I'm going to be going down there to Devon soon to say our final farewells in person. The only thing I've done so far really is on Teams, kind of going on there on our final day when they were kind of having cakes and wine in the department, and I kind of just logged in via their dodgy Wi-Fi connection. So it was a bit kind of jumpy and freezy, but I got to talk to a few people there. But it'll be nice to see them in person properly. That's basically where I'm at now. It's been a very busy kind of last few months. I kind of tidy up lots of things, write documentation for the colleagues I'm leaving behind, and finish off templates or bring them up to date so that things are kind of as set as possible for them moving forward. And as for me moving forward, I don't know what I'm going to do next exactly. There's lots of options. It may still be in the realm of print, but chances are it'll be something different now because I've been doing so many different things since moving to London, like accessibility and disability advocacy and museums and theatres. It'll probably be something in that kind of area, hopefully. But who knows? That's 4 areas there I've mentioned already, so there's lots of possibilities. I've got connections up here already sending me details of like vacancies they see that might interest me and stuff. So I'm really glad that I've been able to form a network here over the past 5 years, 6 years that I've been here. Because it really is kind of already making a difference in the fact that I've got all these possibilities that are kind of out there that I can look into, and the advice I can get, the support I can get, and everything. But the confidence I've had to do that, to build that network, is from the job I've had. The job I've had for the past nearly 18 years has given me that self-confidence where I can go out and do all this stuff, as well as the knowledge and experience that I've acquired along the way. So considering it was a job I never even expected to have in the first place, I've written about the story before, but very, very briefly, I kind of came out of university and got work experience working on their financial management system that they were setting up at the time, doing spreadsheet and data work and stuff. Then I got sent down to the printing department because they needed an extra pair of hands to try and print stuff from this system, and that kind of became a temporary contract that got extended a couple of times. And then because they wanted to keep me, because they saw my potential, they created a new permanent role that I had to go and interview for with other people. It had to be, all above board and everything. But I got the job and was in there for 17 years. And I learned so much, gained so much knowledge and experience and self-confidence, as I say. So, it's a strange job to leave behind, which has given me solid foundations for the future. And financially, luckily, we're sound as well, my mother and I. We both get disability benefits, and Mum gets pensions income as well. So between the two of us, we're effectively earning about a one-person salary, roughly a kind of low salary, but, roughly a one-person salary. So we are all right, and we can survive. We've got a nice amount of money in our current accounts as well, and a good cushion in our savings accounts as well. So we'll survive for a while, even with the rising energy bills and inflation and everything. We will survive, even if I don't get a job for a while. Which hopefully won't take too long before I find something, but then again it could take a while. I've had perfectly talented friends who have taken years to find a job, so that could happen to me. You can't rule that out, as much as everyone says to me, oh, you're great, you'll get a job soon, which I hope is true. That might not happen. I have to be prepared for the possibility that it could take a while. You just don't know. But yeah, I definitely have got potential to get a decent job. I was headhunted last year, in fact, by a major multinational firm. I wasn't the only one they approached by any means. Their talent scout approached several people, but I had a very successful interview with them. It went really well, and I just couldn't take the job because certain aspects of it weren't right. So I don't know if I would have been offered it, but based on what I heard at the time, things seemed to be going well in the interview process. So yeah, it was a good experience, and it was nice to kind of be so kind of enthusiastically approached like that. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I can get something decent. I just need to kind of be careful about what I choose, make sure I get a job that allows me to progress and earn a bit more money than I was earning before, and gives me fresh experience and stuff. There's also some paid research projects I'm doing as well in accessibility type stuff that I'll talk about more in a later post. And there's also voluntary work I do, like the Anna Ridger Network. I make kind of videos and do social media posts for them, and they just give me an award for their Volunteer of the Year. And there's other organisations I'm connected with that I can do voluntary work for. So I can keep myself busy, and we're financially comfortable, and I'll be fine without a job for a while. But obviously I'll be keeping my ear very close to the ground and looking around to see what's available and to see what I might want to apply for. So we'll see what happens. I'm just making the most of all my connections and the options I can look into, because that just broadens the scope of possibilities and increases my chances. So we'll see what happens. In the meantime, I am doing fun stuff as well in amongst all this. There are various shows that I've seen already. I've seen stand-up comedians like Sarah Millican and Jason Manford and Chris McCausland. I've been to see theatre shows. I've had a helicopter ride, which was amazing. You would have seen the footage of that. And then I've also got various shows coming up in the next few months as well that are already booked for the most part before I knew about the redundancies. Those are already in the calendar. And some of them involve travelling outside of London again. And I'm also going to go and stay with a friend in Guernsey as well for a few days. So there's various bits and pieces coming up that I'm really looking forward to. I haven't really booked much in the future, like for next year. There's like one or two things I've got in the pipeline for next year, but I haven't really booked anything too heavily because of the financial situation. I don't want to kind of go too mad. Everything I've kind of booked this year was kind of a post-pandemic flurry of stuff to get me back into things again. It's been so long since I've seen shows and stuff. But I'm just going to be a little bit more careful going forward until I know, what my situation is more fully, in terms of, can I get a job reasonably quickly, or if not, will I have to kind of just cut back a little bit? I've already cut back on a few subscriptions just to be on the safe side. The reason there's no music on this video is because I've just cut the subscription for the music provider I was using. I can use YouTube's free music as well anyway if I want to, but the music I was using for the the titles of my videos was a paid service. So I've got lots to keep me busy, both in terms of, looking for a career and doing voluntary work and research stuff and seeing shows and seeing friends and all sorts of bits and pieces, doing work at home as well. So I'm not going to be bored. I'm going to be active. My CV is still going to be active. And yeah, I'll be kept happy for quite a while yet. So yeah, we'll just see how things go. I will keep you posted here as and when things develop, and I'll keep posting my blog regularly as well. That is still my main focus more than videos. I'm finding it much more kind of just easier to write things, and I can kind of write a lot more there. I've been writing about the Olympics from 2012 over the summer to celebrate the 10th anniversary, for example. Done very detailed posts about the different ceremonies and the highlights and stuff like that. So you can check all that out if you want something to read for a while. And just posting about other things that I'm enjoying as well. So my blog is always being kept updated. I will still do updates on this YouTube channel as well. Not the big favourites videos that I used to do. I'm still kind of quite happy to kind of just do little updates like this instead for a while. But I'll try and do these a little bit more often, not leave months between. It's just not convenient over the summer, and now was the best time to do it. So yeah, there's going to be plenty coming up to talk about and to share with you. I just wanted to bring you up to speed on the fact that yes, I have been made redundant, but I am fine. I'm going to survive. We are financially comfortable. There are things to keep you busy. There are lots of opportunities I can look into. So I'm just going to have a bit of a career break and just relax and see what's happening. And that was a rumble of thunder outside that you may or may not have heard. The rain has started to fall. Hopefully that's not a sign. But yeah, I will leave it there before the weather out there gets too loud and disrupts things, if that's what it wants to do tonight. So yeah, I'm sorry I'm not doing a bigger update than that, but I hope you found that interesting and you've been finding my blog post interesting if you have been following that. And thank you to everybody for their support and all the lovely messages I've had, in terms of my redundancy and all the help they've given me and the support they've given me so far. I do really appreciate it. So yeah, do keep following this channel because there will be videos of things that I see or do or want to update you on, and keep following my blog as well and my social media and everything. And yeah, you'll be kept posted with what I'm getting up to one way or another. But for now, that is all I have to say by way of an update. I hope you're all doing well and getting any support you need during these difficult times as well. I'm relatively lucky in terms of, the kind of struggles I'm facing. A lot of people have a lot more difficulties ahead, especially in terms of, the rising bills and inflation and everything. Our outgoings, my mother and I have, are much less than a lot of other people have because we don't have, a mortgage or rent or children or a car or all that kind of stuff. We don't have credit cards or loans or anything like that. So, it's not so bad for us, but for other people, it is very, very difficult right now. So, I hope that you are getting the support you need if you need it, or that our new Prime Minister, Liz Truss, will give you the support you need. Let's see what she does over the coming weeks and months, I guess. So, yeah, interesting times ahead for the country and for myself, basically. So, look after yourselves. Hope you have fun as well in amongst everything that's going on. And I will see you for another video very soon, hopefully. Bye for now. Take care.